long wave. The time now is 11 minutes to 7. Deal or no deal, thousands of lorries arriving at Channel ports will face new checks from the end of the year. The end, in other words, of the transition period after Brexit. The smart freight system was designed to head off delays by allowing all the paperwork to be done online and in advance. But it's not going to be ready for testing until just a couple of weeks before the deadline. That at least is what the industry understands, and they're not impressed. Let's talk now to Alex Veitch, General Manager of Public Policy at UK Logistics. Morning to you, Mr. Veitch.
Good morning to you.
You've been worried about this for some time. What is the latest you're hearing from government?
Well, just to back up a sec, I want to reiterate that this is a scheme, it's a policy, it's a concept we fully support and endorse. As you said in your intro, the aim here is to increase the number of trucks that get to the ports border ready, which in turn will reduce the kind of delays that we all want to avoid. But just to answer your question, our understanding is that the project will be ready for beta testing, which is, according to government definitions, is when the scope is still being tested and refined. And that will be happening, kicking off next month and still running through December and then even into spring 2021. And so what we are asking is not for a change of policy, but a change in delivery to bring that forward and enter full live operation in January.
Now, beta testing is a bit of jargon, isn't it, used to describe when things are being tested just before they're fully rolled out. I mean, isn't it sensible? They'll do that at the speed they can, surely, and when it's ready, they'll go to the next stage.
Well, look, this is a mission-critical system. I think it's important to reiterate that full border controls will be implemented by the EU for our exports from 1st of January. Our government's been agile and has adapted and has introduced a staged approach to import controls. Well, that will be phased in, but no such luck with the EU. And so it is really important to land this system as soon as possible so that our members who move businesses' goods around, but importantly also the businesses they work for, can all get to know and love and use this system.
Now, the worry I know that you've had in the industry is that many of the drivers that you rely on are not speaking English as their first language, and there's just a danger people don't understand the system, they don't understand the new technology, whatever language they speak, and that we end up with blocks at the ports.
Well, yes. I mean, to be fair, we do engage, constructively with government, and they are looking at multiple language versions of this. But just to sketch out very quickly some of the pressures here, there are two kinds of issues we're looking at. One is about all the other stuff that hauliers and businesses have to do, and one is about the system itself. So in terms of all the other stuff, hauliers will have to do things called safety and security declarations, or at least know how to do them, and that's a legal requirement. They'll have to know how to use the port systems in France, in Belgium, the Republic of Ireland, and the Netherlands. And also, we're doing all this during the Christmas peak, so there'll be lots to do. And that's in addition to engaging with EU operators. And in terms of the system, the kind of things that need to be tested are how you deal with trucks that carry thousands of different consignments going to different people, sent by different people, how to automate some of this to reduce the manual workload, and how to deal with glitches, that might arise and bugs.
Only time, I'm afraid, for a word or a phrase, really. How worried are you that we will see queues of lorries at ports, or is this the sort of nickel that you're bound to have when you're changing something so important?
Well, look, smart freight we're so leaning on this so much because smart freight is a way to actually reduce and possibly get rid of the border delays that we're all so worried about. But it needs the traders to be ready, the logistics community to be ready, and all the systems to be ready as well.
OK. Thank you very much indeed, Alex Veitch of UK Logistics.
It's just coming up to 6 minutes to 7. Hybrid cars, they might not be as green as we've been led to believe. Their performance in the real world apparently doesn't match up to the promises of lab tests. And in some circumstances, they could produce higher carbon emissions than traditional carbon emissions.